Hello, I believe we are live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Youth Group Live. My name is Gary. I will be your host this evening. And let's see here. Give everybody a chance to sign on. As you sign on, comment, let us know how you're doing. And yeah. So I will be your host this evening. Efren, my partner in crime, is on location tonight. He is away hunting alligators, trying to find that elusive pet alligator that he is dreamed to have. He's on location doing research and hunting down that pet alligator. Efren, wherever you are, we hope you are safe and that you will return to us with all of your limbs as you are on location hunting the alligator. So tonight's going to run a little bit differently. Like I said, I will be hosting everyone this evening, and so I'm gonna be playing a discussion that Efren and I had some time ago. We had a discussion on Christian movies, Christian movies we like, and Christian movies we don't like. So we're going to share that with you tonight, while also sharing a worship video that Cole and Ethan and Marissa have made for us. And so that's what we have in store for us tonight. So Ethan, hello. First one to comment, so he gets shown on the thing here. There you go. Ethan Vanderveer is in the house. Whoa, look at that. We got the Real Pastors, brand new YouTube channel. Came into the world today, saying hello. So if you want to check out a brand new YouTube channel, go to Real Pastors. Not right now, but in about 45 minutes or so, if you want to check out we had our debut episode today. So go check that out. Let's see as the comments come in. So, all right. I hope everybody's having a wonderful evening. And Avery says hello. Avery's in the house as well. Boom. Avery has the frog. We got Leah. There's Leah. There you go. So what I was saying a little bit ago, tonight's going to run a little bit different as Efren is on location. I will be your host, but we're going to be playing 3 segments tonight. One will be a discussion that Efren and I had regarding Christian movies, and we talked about, got some indigestion going on. Had wings for lunch, so a little bit of, getting old. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So we went through 3 Christian movies that we do not like and why. We discussed a little bit of the problem with many Christian movies. And then we went through 3 Christian movies that we do like. So we're going to play those for you tonight, as well as a music video that was made by Cole, Ethan, and Marissa. So lots of great stuff tonight. The discussion Efren and I had on this topic, it got, I won't say heated, it got passionate, as we said earlier, as we feel very strongly on tonight's topic. So as you watch tonight, feel free to comment. Let us know, what are some of your favorite Christian movies? What are some Christian movies that you don't like? If there's a Christian movie we don't like and that you like, let us know. It's all subjective here, somewhat. Maybe you like some movie that we don't like because you're maybe just dumb. I don't know. But anyway, so feel free to let us know in the comments your top 3 favorite Christian movies and maybe some you don't like. So and as always, let's see, Chris is saying howdy. There we go. Hey, Chris. Always sharing the comments. We got Zach. Zach, hello. And Jennifer says hello. Hello, Jennifer. All right, so I will address this. Dom, it will not be on the show again tonight. Avery asked if he's coming on to defend himself. No, he will not be. He has a meeting. There's some congregational meeting happening at Kernersville tonight that he has to be at. So Dom continues to get out of it. And, hey, you can't force people to do stuff. I'm just going to keep throwing out the invitation. And if he continues to want to avoid the inevitable, which is him coming on here, and that exactly right, Zach, him coming on here and facing the heat, and that's what it is. He was confronted by my journalism, and he couldn't handle the heat, and so we'll continue to invite him to come on, and he may be coming on here with us live one night. Maybe he'll do an episode of the Crossing Connection one Sunday morning. Who knows? Who knows? But hey, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm not going anywhere. Dom, the ball is in your court, sir. So the people want to know what you have to say regarding that. So, all right, Jamie says, hey to the peeps. All right, so as you sign on, like I was saying, continue to comment. And so what I'm going to do now, I believe I know how to do it. I've been practicing how to do this by myself. Efren, I miss you, but I've been really working on how to do this by myself. But I'm going to play a video that we made regarding Christian movies that we do not like. All right, so this is the 3 Christian movies that we do not like. So, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hit this button here. Oh, wait. Excuse me. I almost forgot. Before we go any further, I want to thank tonight's sponsor, Mountain Dew Baja Blast Zero. Do you want a drink that is extreme and makes you want to grab life by the horns, but you don't want all the sugar, carbohydrates, and other stuff? Grab a Mountain Dew Baja Blast Zero. All the extreme with 0 sugar. All right. Thank you. All right, so we will go ahead and, like I said, let's see. Let me see what I can do here. Share screen. Yes. That and that. And here we go. Just going to hit this button and hope for the best. Let's see. And the ones we don't like, and the problems we have with them.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to dig into some of those things and see what you guys think about it. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. But when it comes down to it, we love movies.
We do.
We really do. And we love good movies.
Yes.
Sometimes we love to laugh at bad movies, and that's okay too. Mm-hmm. But, there is a whole genre, I guess there is, of Christian movies. And sometimes people like us get a little upset. It's like, really, Christians? This is the best you got? But then sometimes they nail it, and we're going to be talking about those.
Absolutely. There's going to be some pretty good positives out of this.
Absolutely.
So it's not all bad.
Yep.
So can we start off, before we go through our list, with, I just want to share what I think we agree on this. The biggest issue I feel with majority of Christian movies, mm-hmm. Every Christian movie has a message they want to get out there.
Correct.
Majority of movie makers, that's their vision, to get their message out.
Right.
Christian movies only focus on that. They just want to get to their message, but don't care how they get there.
Yeah, and that's really one of the biggest problems. It's like, listen, you can make a great movie with a good message. It's been done.
It has been done.
Lord of the Rings is a great example. Mm-hmm. Let's just leave it at that, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, all right. So you want to begin going through our list?
I think we should.
All right. So we'll start off.
Sorry, I'm just still getting set up here because I need to make sure I get my junk together. But there we go.
All right.
I'm good.
So how do you want to start? You want to start off negative or end positively?
I think we should. Well, you just pretty much said the same thing. Start negative or end positively.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we're starting with the negative and ending positively.
Starting with the negative. Would you like to go first?
Sure. I sure will. Right. And just so you know, we want to end positively because why end sad?
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
So the first thing that's up on the list.
Can I say one more thing?
Oh, yes, please do.
We also want to say this is our opinion. Mm. If we name a movie we really do not like and you love, that's okay. I mean, we won't agree with you. I think you're pretty much dumb and question your biblical knowledge in some cases. But hey, this stuff's subjective, but this is our opinion.
Yes, it is. And if you, like you said, if you love some of these movies, and we say we hate it, sorry. Hopefully our explanations will help you understand us at the very least.
Very well.
All right. So the first one up of the dislikes.
This is your top one?
So this is, should I go top or should I start at the bottom and then go back to one?
Start from the bottom and go back to
Start from the bottom, go back to one. All right. So starting from the bottom. So in the number 3 place, because we just did top 3.
Yep, top 3.
You know, in each. So in the 3rd place, it was a movie called To Save a Life.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So I chose that one. And here's the reason why. Here's the reason why it's in 3rd place. Because when I watched it the first time, it was highly recommended by a couple people. And so I was like, all right, let's watch this. And watching the movie, I was just like, you know what? This isn't like as horrible as other movies about trying to just get the message across. It really wasn't that bad. But what got me was, I'm like, why are they trying so hard to be cool? Like, that's the thing that got me the most. I'm like, can you just tell the story? Stop trying to be like, hey, look at us. We're hip and we're edgy and we're doing this movie. And look, this is what we think teenagers look like all the time. And I'm just like, really? Like, is this really the part we need to go to? Like sometimes I was watching, I'm like, this plays out like a bad sci-fi channel movie. Like the quality of it. Yeah. And I was just like, man, like it just, but the thing is, it's in 3rd place because I have mixed feelings. Because on those ends, I really, really couldn't like it. And it was enough for me to like, just be like, I really don't like this movie. But there were some positives out of it. And I just thought maybe on some of these, I should point out at least some positives that I thought were cool about it. And so like, of course, one, I thought it did like kind of expose like most high schools and stuff. Because yeah, we had this whole issue in this movie where the kid goes in and,
yes,
you know, if you've seen the movie, you know what happens.
It's in the trailer. Yeah.
It's in the trailer. I don't know if it's okay to talk about, but I don't know. That stuff's weird. But, you know, he does some things that isn't like, but they take you back and they kind of make you understand like why that happened. And it kind of exposes, because like one thing I thought was interesting, I'm like, yeah, everybody ignores this kid until he does something like this. And then all of a sudden we were such best friends. We love him. Hashtag blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, thanks for exposing how people like teenagers and stuff, how they kind of react. And I thought that was a good depiction of it. And I thought it was actually a good depiction of youth groups. Yeah, it was. You know, I mean, on that aspect, I was like, you know what? They did a pretty good job on that one.
There's a scene in that movie that I love. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get too far ahead, but this scene will be why we'll be talking about it later.
No, fair enough.
It deals with the youth group scene.
Yeah, so, gotcha. Yeah, see, those are the parts I thought was good. Mm-hmm. But when it was trying to show like how cool he was, how bad they was,
it does have a cool problem.
And there was like certain parts of it where I'm just like, do we really have to go that far? You know, on certain scenes, I'm just like, you didn't have to really show that much if you're trying to be a Christian movie. You could have very easily caused people to stumble by showing a little too much.
That is true.
Which again, it's one of those things. It's like in a normal movie, you expect it from the world. But like, if you're going to be like, hey, we're Christians and look at us make this Christian movie, just make a good movie. Don't try to go out there and be like, hey, we are hip and in touch with the world. And that's the thing that kind of bothered me about it. But it had a lot of good in it. That's why for me, it's like this it's kind of like it barely makes the dislike list. Let's put it that way. To me, it was very borderline.
I will say this. I'm glad it's your number 3 and not your number 2 or number 1.
Yeah, no.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, okay.
So, all right, so is it my turn?
Yes, go ahead.
My number 3 for dislike Christian movie is Facing the Giants. This one should be number 2, but there is a movie that I absolutely despise that is number 2. We'll get to that later. But Facing the Giants, I have a big problem with this movie. It's just bad all the way around. The acting is atrocious on any level of a movie. And the message is just way over the top. There is not 1 ounce of subtlety in this movie.
No.
It paints a picture of, now don't get me wrong, following Jesus, yes, it's the greatest thing you can do with your life. We tell you guys, hopefully remind you guys of that all the time, because we need to be reminded of that as well. But this movie paints a picture of, if you love Jesus, you get a new truck, you will get your dream job, and everything just happens to work out. Win the state championship, when the year before you couldn't even win a game. I just do not like this movie. I never have. And it is a prime example of the message in it isn't even good. Honestly, just being honest. There is a really good scene in it, I will say. The scene where the guy carries the other dude around the football field. I like that scene very much. When he says, "Look up, Brock, you're in the end zone." That gets to me. I like that. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You know, and just the guy's wife in the movie, she's in a few other movies, and she is just such a bad actress. I'm sorry, but she's just really bad.
I understand.
I just can't. So, Facing the Giants is my number 3.
Yeah. Well, we'll just continue talking about it because that actually ended up being my number 2.
Oh.
Because I actually had Facing the Giants at number 1. And then when I put my number 2 down, I realized I hate number 2 worse. I was like, you know what? I want the movies too. And I'm pretty much on the same boat with you. It's just like really like this is the picture we're going to paint. And this is where like this is what we're going with. Like this was like I think of like the first like big like Christian studio movie where they're just like, hey, we're making Christian movies and we're trying to make good quality movies and this, that, the other. And like even some of the cinematography in it, I'm like, man, like it's one of those things like I could tell these people don't have a whole lot of experience making movies. Like they probably have experience like we do, like shooting. We have some cool ideas, but some of it was just like really like that's the kind of the angle and stuff we're taking on this.
This may be a bold statement. I may be way out of line saying this. The acting and the production in some of our announcement videos are way better than anything in that movie.
I agree.
I'm just gonna go say it.
Yep.
And that's a compliment to us and Denzel.
Denzel, you're the man.
Hey, Denzel.
Yeah, so that's kind of there with that with my number 2. So I guess I just piggyback on you.
Right.
Might as well go back to your number 2 then.
My number 2 is a movie that I absolutely despise. I absolutely despise this movie. I'm curious if you've heard of it, if anyone's heard of it. It's a movie called Suing the Devil.
I've not heard of that one.
It's a movie that came out back in 2011. It came, it started being advertised, and it had a very well-known, very good actor named Malcolm McDonald was in it. He was playing the devil. And the trailer was actually pretty good. And I got very interested because they had a real actor playing the devil. I thought, this is going to be very good. I bought the movie on DVD, and I was going to do a movie night with the youth group. It was around Halloween. It was basically the premise is this guy is suing the devil. He's putting him on trial for ruining his life, and there's a big trial around the devil. You know, It is absolutely unwatchable. It is that bad. I will say this: Save a Life, yours, Facing the Giants. They're somewhat watchable.
Yeah, you can watch them.
This movie is complete trash. It is unwatchable. Even it's just completely. It's so stupid. I was very disappointed by it. There was no movie night for this movie. I think I put it on the senior pastor's bookshelf when he wasn't around and just left it there to see if he'd find it. It's got a 4.6 on IMDb out of 10. So I'm not the only one who thinks this. Suing the Devil is complete trash. I hate this movie. I hate it. Wow. Sorry. I told you it's going to get hostile.
Like, I honestly, I kind of want to go find it just to watch it with you. just to laugh about it.
There's a scene where he goes, I never forget it. He's running to the courtroom. Everybody's cheering him. He's like, the guy's like, hey, I love this band, blah, blah. And the devil goes, that band, I'm a Tom Jones man. It is so bad. Oh, gosh, I hate that movie.
Oh, man.
I got to move on before I just get outraged.
Yeah, I understand. So top one for me, I guess now is where we're at. This is where I think a lot of people are going to get really mad at me.
Oh,
so we're gonna rock the boat.
I have no idea. We don't know each other's list.
No, we don't. We don't. So I'm about to rock the boat. I don't know. This could be on his like list for all I know.
Oh boy.
So I mean, I don't know. I just know a lot of people really, really love this movie. Everyone was just like, you have to go see it. You have to go see it. Go watch it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch it because like I kind of know the premise of it. And I was just like, And then so we ended up renting it, I believe, watched it with Katie. Honestly, Katie thought it was great. I'm just like, I hate this movie. I hate so much about this movie. But this movie is The Shack.
The Shack. Never saw it.
Okay.
Yes.
If you want to trust me, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
I do not like The Shack. It was like, I know it's based on a book too, so whatever, obviously, about us in our readings for fun. But but this movie, I just hated it because it was just the theology about it. Like, normally Christian movies, you're thinking like, hey, they're gonna just shove us down with theology and salvation and gospel, and no matter like what denominational side of theology, whether it's faith only, restoration, whatever, like however that movie pans out, like you can kind of like, okay, whatever, that's what they believe, it's no big deal. But this one, it was like, it went out of the way to kind of make God look like a universalist.
Okay. And that's what I heard about the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And then like it just drove me nuts. And like I hate it. I'm just like, if this is what a lot of mainstream people are getting, that God is like, no one's going to have, I don't feel anyone's going to have any real conversion. They're just going to have this sugar-coated Bible and God just loves you and it doesn't really matter if you change kind of mentality.
The Will Smith theology.
Yeah, there you go.
Love Will Smith, but that's pretty much
Yeah, and it's just like, so like, I just couldn't get past that, even though it had good actors in
Ewan
it.
McGregor, right?
So
Wasn't he in that?
was he in that? I know the guy who plays Avatar. The Avatar guy.
Oh, that's who it is. Yeah.
I forget his name. I know he's in it, and then the black lady's in it who plays God. Who she's in a lot of stuff. She does really good in everything she is. Cool. But she's in like The Help. She was in the movie with the
I know
three.
who you're talking about.
Yeah, she was in the one with the 3 astronauts, the
Yes.
black lady astronauts, and that worked for NASA. Did a lot of great stuff. I want to see that movie. I haven't seen it.
I heard it's good.
Yeah, but either way, but she's in it. But and one of those things, like honestly, like the acting was fine. Yeah. But I mean, they had real actors, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to insult anybody, but like the acting was fine and all that kind of stuff. But that drove me nuts. And then like the whole thing about having God as a woman, like, and it's not that God was a woman. It was that she was a woman because that was the only way that man would accept God. Okay. And so like that's kind of what. And I'm just like, if you look through all through Scripture, God never sugarcoats himself or makes himself comfortable for anybody's preference because of what they've gone through. No, he always shows up and everyone is, holy crap, it's God, it's the angel of the Lord, like, and they're just completely scared. Yeah,
we change because of God. We don't change God.
Exactly, and that's what drove me nuts. Like, I could care less. It could have been a dog for all I care. Like, it's not, because people did want to argue, well, y'all just mad because y'all just saying God can't be a woman. You're saying, I could care less. It's the point behind why they portray God as a woman. Yeah. At the beginning of it to get him to. I'm like, God doesn't make himself comfortable for anybody. I mean, he did what he had to do. Jesus came in. There's free salvation for everyone. Just come to him. But like, God's not shape shifting to appease us. You know who shape shifts? Satan.
And T1000, who was pretty much Satan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's who shape shifts. Let's just put that out there.
Shape shifting. Yeah,
so that one drove me nuts. But I will say, the main positives I did see out of that was it did do a good job, which I guess since this is their only thing, but it was a good job of showing like God will always have grace and patience with us, no matter how stupid or how far or how much we say God isn't real. He'll still have grace and patience for us, and that he does want a relationship with us, and he won't stop trying to have that. So those are like the main big things about it, but when you're trying to say that's all God is, that's where I have an issue with it. So there you go. Told y'all there'll be some ranting.
Hadn't seen it, wasn't planning on seeing it, and now I'm just going to continue not seeing it.
Well, there you go.
My number one, this may get people upset.
Oh, here we go.
Any of the Left Behind movies. Any movie. Any of those movies with Kirk Cameron and...
what about Nicolas Cage one?
That one too. Not a fan of those. Not a fan of any really apocalyptic Christian movie.
Those are bad.
They're just bad in every way. The end times, all that. Don't just stop making movies about it.
I agree.
Left Behind, all that stuff. The Nicolas Cage one, Kirk Cameron. Yeah, any of those movies are on my top. In my opinion, they are the poster for bad Christian movies.
Like, funny story. When I saw all those movies was when I was going to my Christian school.
Oh,
yeah. We had our Bible class, and he was like, we have to watch these movies because they're so phenomenal. And granted, we didn't have to do any work for 2 weeks by the time we watched all of them or whatever it was.
A lot of them.
There was a lot. I can't remember how long ago. It was a long time. All we did was watch movies. And I was like, this is horrible. But, like, at least it got me out of school. So
there you go.
If it gets you out of school, then do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Absolutely. Yes. And, not a fan of those.
Yeah.
So, do you have any honorable mentions for good Christian movies?
Oh, for good Christian movies? Well, I felt like this is weird because I'm like, I didn't know if we were allowed to choose.
All right. There you have it. There is our top 3, maybe not top 3, Christian movies that we do not like. Efren's was Save a Life, To Save a Life. The Shack was his number 1. And Facing the Giants was number 2. I don't know why I went out of order there. Mine was Facing the Giants, Suing the Devil, which I can't even. That movie's so bad. I just can't you heard my thoughts. Never mind. I told you. And all the Left Behind movies. So many of you haven't heard of many of those. And hey, not necessarily a bad thing, in my opinion. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a little bit of intermission from the movie videos. And what we're going to do is, whoa, what happened there? And we're back. Okay. I'm going to take some time and watch a music video, have some time of worship led by Cole, Ethan, and Marissa. And so take some time to watch this, and then they do a great job, as always. So let's try this again. Let's see. Hit play. There we go.
Here I am, down on my knees again, surrendering all, surrendering all. Find me here, Lord, as you draw me near, desperate for you, desperate for you. I surrender. Drench my soul, mercy and grace unfold. I hunger and thirst. Lord, have your way. Have your way in me. Lord, have your way. Have your way in me. Lord, have your way. Have your way in me. I surrender. I surrender. I want to know you, Lord. I want to know you. I surrender. I surrender. I want to know you, Lord. I want to know you.
All right. Thanks, guys. Great job. Great job. Thanks for leading us in that. So we're now going to go into a happier time, a happier segment than the previous one. The last one, like I told you. So yeah, some things got stirred up there, some emotions, some thoughts. So we're going to go through our top 3 Christian movies that we do like. And I just want to say, I think it's safe to say, Efren and I recommend these movies. If you haven't seen them, I think they're pretty great. One you'll hear we just talked about, so pretty interesting. You'll hear about it. So, all right. So without further ado, go ahead and share this portion of tonight's discussion. Christian movies we do like.
And we're back.
What's up?
Welcome,
Glad you're
everybody.
still here with us.
Hope you enjoyed that wonderful music video.
It's pretty awesome.
Pretty great.
Talented people.
So we're going to talk about a few honorable mentions, like we said a little bit before we go into the movies we like. All right. So would you like to start with honorable mentions, or would you like me?
I guess I'll start.
All right.
So one honorable mention I had is because I didn't know we were allowed to use this as a actual movie or not, but it's a Case for Christ documentary.
Love a good documentary.
So that one I really liked it because it's Lee Strobel. He does it. He talks through it. He meets with some of the people that he met with to try to find evidence against Christ in the Bible and all that kind of stuff. And so it just kind of walks you through that whole thing. I actually ended up seeing it in Bible college in our apologetics class. That was one of the movies we had to watch.
It's a good place for it.
Yeah, it is. And so so I wanted to watch that, and I thought it was really, really well done. And I'm not a huge documentary person. I guess I'm a picky documentary person, I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah, I like the documentaries. It just depends on the subject. What's the one Katie made me watch? Forks Over Knives or something like that. Pretty much about eating more veggies and less meat. And at the end of it, Katie's like, "How does that make you feel about eating?" And I'm like, "I want a burger." And so it just didn't work. But anyway, it was just boring. But so I'm just picky. Some documentaries are awesome. Some are terrible because they're just boring. But this one was great. Great information. And if you want, scholars and stuff to help you with your, doubts or whatever in Christ or scripture or anything like that, it's a great one to look into.
Yeah. The Case for Christ documentary. Right on. Just for the record, I'm against any documentary that goes against eating meat.
There we go.
Honorable mention of mine is a movie called I'm Not Ashamed. It is the Rachel Scott story. I thought it was really well done. Rachel Scott she was murdered in the Columbine shootings, and it tells the story of her life and the impact she made on many of her classmates. And
when did that come out?
It came out in 2015, I believe, or 16.
I missed that one. Anyways, go ahead.
Really good movie. The actress that plays Rachel Scott, Macy McLean, I think is her name. I think she's gone places. She did a really good job in this movie. So I'm Not Ashamed. That's gonna be my honorable mention.
Cool.
Yep. All right. So my number 3, or is it your turn?
No, your turn.
My
Go
turn.
ahead. I started off with this last. You start off with the last.
My number 3, like Christian movie, is To Save a Life.
There it is.
There it is. His number
comeback.
His number 3 dislike was my number 3 like. And I will say, like I said when he was reviewing that movie, I agree with the majority of what you said. It does have a cool problem. There is some things in that movie that I feel needed to be cut out. Just trying a little bit too hard on things. But the overall, I kind of contradict what I said earlier, but the overall message of this movie I took a lot from. It came out at a time where I really needed a movie like this. I was just in youth ministry. I just started out, and the what it talked about with youth groups and how toxic they can become if you don't watch out for that. It handled that really well, in my opinion. So, To Save a Life is my number 3 favorite Christian movie.
And I think that brings out the point I made earlier. It's like with that movie, it's borderline. Kind of like where you end up falling. You can either like it or not like it. It's kind of right there. So respect. It's like respect on both ends on that one. I can understand.
There is some things in that movie that I wish they would have cut and just applied.
Yes.
Not implied. Yes. Yeah. I can't speak to it. There's a scene that I had to fast forward through when I did it as a movie night years ago with my youth group because just a little bit too much.
You could have stopped way sooner.
Yeah, they wanted to be edgy. I think.
Exactly.
And there's one scene where a guy says a cuss word. It said it in a way like.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it said it in a way like elementary school kids will say it on the school bus like, I cussed, I'm cool.
Yes.
So it does have that issue. So that's why it's number 3 and not higher.
And which understand with us being movie lovers, we know we've seen stuff like that on normal movies. And it's not like you just expect it. It's like they went out of the way to try to do that to say, I'm edgy. Yeah. And so that's why I have issues. That's what he's saying. Like some of it's kind of, but it is true. The overall message is good and honestly needed.
Yeah, and I think the overall message of that movie is it matters how you treat people.
It really does.
It does. So,
yeah.
I'm anxious to hear your list.
Okay, so starting with number 3 for me on my likes, it's probably a movie most of you have never heard of. It came out in like 2006, I think. It's a movie called 3, and it is based.
This is number 3.
Yes, that's number 3. Yes, third movie. Number 3. Yep, there you go. See how it all comes together. But the reason why I really liked it is, it's based on a book by Ted Decker, who's a Christian fiction writer, and he does like thriller, kind of horror, supernatural type writings. And so this one, he writes this one, they make it into a movie, and I went into it, like I didn't read the book. You guys know how Gary and I are about reading books. We just watched the movie,
There's a movie about something, why read the book?
It just takes so much
Except for the Bible.
Yeah, well, there isn't a movie on the Bible. There's a movie on different stories of the Bible. Anyways, but this one, it's a thriller. It's about these 3 people trying to figure out about this serial killer who is a psychopathic killer coming after them. If not, they could die. And so and it has a twist ending to it. This twist, I believe, was the first time before 2 other movies that I know of that have used it. Which I didn't tell you what those 2 movies are later.
Okay.
But anyways, because I know you've seen those movies, but it's been used, and which is quite all right. But if you've seen those movies, you know what this is. But it has a cool twist. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it's just cool. It's one of those movies that it's like it's not like we said earlier about our dislikes. They tried so hard to pass this Christian message. They're just trying to tell this story in the book, kind of Lord of the Rings-esque, like not the same quality. I'm just saying like. You're just telling a story that has Christian principles in it, but it's focused on the good story. So I thought it was really, really good. The acting's kind of in it, and some of the stuff looks kind of like straight to TV, kind of like effects and stuff. Again, 2006, not really the best time for effects, anyways. It was a long time ago, but it was really good. Wow, there you go. Junior in high school.
This old man right here.
Oh my gosh. So it's come a long way since. And this was also like the beginning of Christian movies, like being mainstream, like in the sense of like this had a theatrical release, but not a lot of people knew about it. I mean, marketing wasn't that great, but it was really, really, I thought it was really good. Worth checking out if you want a good Christian movie. 3. Number 3 is 3.
Number 3. Cool. Well, my number 2
Here we go.
is kind of going to go alongside what one of your honorable mentions was. It's The Case for Christ, but the movie, not the documentary. A few years ago, they made a movie about this guy's life, Lee Strobel, and it was done incredibly well, in my opinion. Real actors who actually cared. You could tell like cared what they were doing.
Good.
You know, the guy that played Lee Strobel did a fantastic job. The guy that played Lee Strobel's wife, it was a lady who was from the show Parenthood. If you ever watched that show, Megan and I watched it. And Megan, they both did phenomenal in this movie, and it just told the story of this guy's life and his journey from, you know, very extreme skeptic atheist to, you know, he saw the evidence of Christ and it changed him. And The Case for Christ, it is on Netflix.
Oh,
I
cool.
believe, yeah. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. I might even rewatch it soon.
I'm about to watch. I know Katie watched it and she loved it. I did not get a chance to watch. I don't know why. I can't remember why I didn't. Or it might have been one of those things where Katie just needed to go out by herself and I stayed home with the kids because she was going to go crazy. I don't know.
Y'all need that sometimes.
No, I'll need it. So she loved it. I want to watch it. It's like, because like I said, I love the documentary. So
yeah,
there you go.
It's really, really great movie.
Excellent. So my number 2 is the movie Courageous. And I really like this movie. This was, you know, the same people who made Facing Giants and stuff. And but this one was the first one that I watched where, like, it was, I mean, it's obvious it has the same kind of like, here's our main message and we're going to shove it down your throat. But at least it was done well. And what I mean is, like, the action sequences are actually really good. And again, I don't know if that's one of those, like, do I think it was good because it was good for a Christian movie, or was it actually good? But I just know, I remember watching and be like, I'm impressed. So I thought that was really good. It was actually really funny. I laughed a lot during this movie.
Sneaky.
Oh my God, he just goes off about Chick-fil-A. And the guy's like freaking out.
Fries.
Yeah, fries. But there were just certain things where it was just kind of like, some of the acting's really bad and stuff. But like, at least they did, like this one I feel like they tried a lot harder just to make a movie that had like good Christian principles around it. They did push it a little bit at the end with the literally preaching at you, but other than that, I was like,
it's a little over the top of that movie. I will say that. It is a little over the top, but
but I thought Courageous was really, really well done. I thought it was good for any man to watch, married or not. Had a lot about right and wrong and ethics and integrity. You know, so obviously it's targeted towards men and pretty much saying women, this is how men should act. But at least it wasn't like unreachable like what men should do.
There's some really deep stuff in that movie.
Yes, sir.
There's some scenes, there's some things that happen in that movie. If you haven't seen it, we won't spoil it. There's some scenes I'm thinking back to, and it's just like, wow, you know. It's
just like one of the opening scenes where the one guy he's filling up gas.
Yep.
Like even that scene, I was just like,
you think, oh man, this guy really loves his car. Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
He loves
what's in his car. That's why he freed. I'm just like, yo, like that is. I mean, as a parent, like anyone would, you know, it get hood real quick. I mean,
yes, absolutely. I would get hood as well.
That's right. You're from Wilmington. You know how to get hood.
Yes, there's some hood there.
That's right.
Well, Efren, we're going to continue to talk about Courageous because that is my number 1.
Oh, let's go.
I love this movie. Like I said, it's got some of the cheesy acting at times, but hats off to you, Kendrick Brothers, because you learned how to make a movie. From Facing the Giants to something even before that called Flywheel. If you remember that movie.
I do not remember that.
Just, you know.
Did they do Fireproof as well?
Yes.
Okay.
They just progressed over time. And Courageous is a movie. In my opinion, it's not just a great Christian movie. It's a great movie. The message is portrayed really well. A little over the top at times. But, it's the scenes, the dialogue in the movie is spot on. It's written incredibly well. Courageous is my all-time favorite Christian movie.
Nice.
And there's a scene in this movie that I think back to that I just remembered that I got to stop talking because it's going to make me tear up a little bit.
Oh, man.
This movie that I just thought of, and wow. But if you ever seen Courageous, check it out. Like Efren said, even if you're not married or a father, there's a lot of amazing takeaways all of us as men or whoever's watching it can't take away from.
That's right. That is. It's good. It deserved that much talk time.
Absolutely.
It did deserve that much talk time.
It is raining.
It is pouring down rain. I'm glad we were done out there.
Oh, yeah. We were at the food truck tonight and
got a little wet, but
glad
we missed that.
Yeah, we had sticks to tell people where to drive. Anyway.
That's right. Anyways. All right, so my number 1 is, Gary hasn't seen this. I know he hasn't. I've brought it up quite a few times. Anytime anyone's like, hey, what's a good Christian movie? This is the one I will always recommend and say you have to watch this movie. It is a movie called Woodlawn. I think this movie came out in 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. I'm not really sure. I can't remember. But it's a movie that that flew under the radar. I remember it had a pretty good marketing campaign. I remember seeing it on TV, all that kind of good stuff. It seemed to like go in and out. Like I think it was in theaters a decent amount of time, but it went out earlier than most movies because obviously once people stop seeing it, they pull it from theaters. And I remember being like, I want to go watch this. I want to go watch this. I never did. Finally rented it on Redbox, and that's when I watched it. And I was like, I hate that I waited this long to watch it.
Yeah.
The movie is about. It's based on a true story about a black athlete named Tony Nathan who lived in Birmingham, Alabama, and he. This is a time in 1970 something, I think. I can't remember exactly the time frame. Just look it up on IMDb and it'll tell you what you gotta know. But it was when they started the desegregation of schools, and so he goes to Woodlawn High School, and while at this high school, he's a black kid, a bunch of black kids trying to play on now the white team that was always the white team. And so it has a little bit of Remember the Titans feel to it. Yeah, so it has a lot of like that feel to it where it's just like you're having this integration of these black schools and white schools, and now they're trying to work through it. But you still had like the white coach and stuff. So it had a little bit of an extra layer that made it a bit more difficult. But then you have, I already forgot it. I forgot it. Sean Astin.
Sean Austin. I can never
Something like that. Rudy or Samwise. That's right.
Samwise.
So yeah. So he's in it. He's an evangelist for the Jesus Generation movement back during this time, and he just goes into the athletic director and stuff. Hey, say, let me just speak to the kids. I just want to give them hope.
That's how all these Sam quotes coming in my head.
Oh, as you should.
Sorry.
They're really good. And he can make you cry too.
Oh
Especially
gosh.
Return of the King.
Mr. Frodo's going anywhere. I'm going along with it.
That's right.
Sorry.
Dedication.
Yeah.
So same dedication to his acting in this movie. He sells it out completely. And that's another thing. This movie had like real actors, like John Voight was the Bear Bryant. Because he came to recruit Tony Nathan to play for Alabama, and Tony Nathan was like, "I'm not going there because of what a governor or somebody important in Alabama said I would never have a black person." I mean, he used harsher words, but but he's like, "I'll never have that on my team." But Bear Bryant's like, "I ain't give a crap. I want someone who's going to help me win, and you have the skills." I mean, he was already talented, so it wasn't one of those he came to Jesus and now he's good. Like he was already good before he came to Jesus.
Gotcha.
But it's showing like
he wasn't a face of the Giants.
Yeah, no, none at all. No, he was already really good, and then they just showed his transition into Christianity while he's working through all this, and now he became a bridge between his other black players on his team and the white players, and how him and then Samwise brought this high school together and this community. Like you don't see the full like everybody's hugging and kissing, everything's good. Kind of like Remember the Titans a little bit, but like it shows you enough to like you start to see things starting to melt. And so, but it was just really well done. The football scenes were really, really good.
That is a movie I've always wanted to see, but for whatever reason, I just never have. I was telling him earlier, a friend of mine in Charleston redboxed it and brought it to me. He was like, "Have you seen this movie?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, I still have it. I was going to return it, but you watch it tonight and then return it." And just things got busy, and I just couldn't watch it. I had to return it before I watched it, but I just never saw it. But I've always wanted to see it.
Which seems like that's a lot what happened in this movie. Because when I talk to people have normally heard about it. Like, I just didn't get a chance to watch it. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure that summer it came out like in the midst of like just a bunch of stuff in the summer. And so it just got kind of lost in the shuffle, which happens a lot with movies. They think that, we can handle this, and they just couldn't. I think Woodlawn was a tragedy of that one. But it was totally worth it. I would have gladly paid price of admission. Can't talk. Woodlawn.
Yeah. So to recap, my top three, number 3, To Save a Life. His number 3 of disliked.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Case for Christ, the movie. And number 1, Courageous.
And my number 3 is 3, the film based off the book from Ted Decker. And then Courageous was my number 2, with Woodlawn at number 1.
So, yeah, what are some of your favorite Christian movies? What are some ones you don't like?
All right, there you have it. Top 3 Christian movies from Efren and I. So yeah, we had some comments here. Somebody says that Garrett said War Room is one of his favorite. Chris said Passion of the Christ. We talked about that. We had to do 2 cuts of that video. Long story, has some technical difficulties, but in the original cut, we talked a little bit about the Passion of the Christ. Yeah, definitely a great one. Very well done, telling the greatest story ever told. So yeah. yeah, so if you haven't seen any of those movies we talked about, highly recommend them. Some of them can be found on Netflix. I know The Case for Christ can be found on there. Yeah, so I think Efren and I own some of those movies we talked about. Maybe we'll let you borrow them if we feel like it. But anyway, so that is our discussion on Christian movies, our top 3 dislikes, and our top 3 most liked. My top 1 was Courageous. Love that movie so much, and Efren's was Woodlawn. I gotta see that movie. I really do. So before we head out of here, really quick, couple of things. Remember, next week we will be meeting back. We will be re-entering youth group here at the Crossing students, 6:30, right here at the Crossing, and over at main campus, 7 o'clock, up in the high school room. We're really looking forward to this, seeing you guys. And so, yeah, if you are not ready to meet back or your parents aren't ready, that is totally fine. We're just going to go ease back into the new normal as all this stuff goes on. Look at this. Release. There we go. The Rosario Hall cut. Absolutely. Extended edition coming soon. So that's next Wednesday night. Don't worry. We're still going to be, this YouTube channel is not going anywhere. We're still going to be doing things. We're still going to be doing things, on this channel. And so it's not going anywhere. Jamie asked about Sundays. I don't believe Sunday. We are meeting Sunday mornings just for worship. However, Sunday school has not returned yet. So there will be the 3 services on Sunday mornings at main campus and 10:30 here at the Crossing. So, hold on. Boom. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. If you're joining us on Sunday, can't wait to see you. If you're not joining us, feel free to be a part of things on live stream. So, all right. So thanks for watching. Have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you.